talk about a story to do with my dyslexia today. Basically, I've been reading a book about dyslexia, and my whole life I've been told that dyslexia is a negative overall anyway. But this book is kind of teaching me that it really isn't. You see, I could barely spell my own name. For many years I even spelt my name wrong, even after I thought I knew how to spell it. Up until about the 4th year in school, I pretended to read. I acted like I could spell, but I was very good at blagging it and acting like I thought I knew what was going on. I didn't at all. Until I got a teacher called Mr. Jerwood, and Mr. Jerwood was one of the best teachers I've ever had, and it kind of blew me away. Most teachers would tell me to write lines or, keep reading. And I thought I was stupid because to me, at like 7 or 8 years old, I thought, well, I've been reading my whole life and I still don't get it. So why am I going to keep doing the exact same thing? Well, one of the first things me and Mr. Jerwood would do to improve my spelling was you'd get a putty, right? And it's like bouncy, you can roll up in a ball and bounce it. And we'd get a table and we would chuck it on the table, it would bounce off, and another person would catch it. And you'd go back and forth spelling out a word. It seems very small, but because it was made into a game, it was something that, first of all, I actually wanted to do. And second of all, I think when I got a goal or I got a point, it was like a memory for me. I could play it back. Instead of just writing boring ass lines where I'm falling asleep at it, it was something that fun. So it sort of stuck in my head. By the time I got out of, I think, about year 5, I'd caught up pretty much mostly to everyone in my class, even though the year prior I couldn't even read my own name. After leaving primary school, I kind of went back to thinking I was stupid. And I neglected all the things that I was taught about myself. Up until the point that I read this book, I still thought that it was a negative overall. And I'd always get told by other people, well, don't you know Einstein had this and that, and the person of NASA has dyslexia and all this other stuff, right? And I'd always brush it off and go, you're just talking a load of rubbish, who cares, right? They just got lucky. But what this book is taught me is that actually a lot of my strengths, and some of them I haven't even noticed until I read this book, are actually very vital to how I process things and how I do things. It's like sort of reading a book about my life or how I function. I'd be reading something and be like, that is what I do, and I've never even noticed it before. So there's a thing with dyslexic people that they find it, majority of them find it very easy to recall memories from even really far back. And I've always been quite gifted with that. And I thought it was a gift, but actually it's just my dyslexia. And until I found that out, I just really thought, it's just something I can do. But actually, it's probably a lot more to do with my dyslexia. And it's amazing because for me, stories is something I love telling, and also a way of me connecting with people, and how I am happy when I think of a happy memory or whatnot. And it's how I learn, right? I learn a memory or a story, or I live a story and I learn through it. And I keep replaying it, if I'm going to make that same mistake, I replay it in my head. There's another thing about dyslexic people being creative, and I always brush this off because I was like, I'm not creative at all. But not in the general sense, no, I'm not creative, but when it comes to, let's say, a problem or a solution to something, I always seem to come up with a solution. And a lot of the times, that is it's normally a very creative way of thinking about it. And again, I never paid attention to it because I just rubbed it off as, because people tell me, oh, dyslexic people are creative and then this and then that. Well, I'm not none of that. I'm just the rubbish part of it. But that's because more times than not, most of the time, the negative thing was you're dyslexic, you can't read. I still can't read. Alright, trust me. But I don't let it stop me. It's not an excuse. I used it as an excuse as a kid. Yeah, I definitely used it as an excuse as a kid. As a kid, I just would be like, well, I can't do that because I'm dyslexic. I can't do that because I'm dyslexic. That is never a way to go about it. Don't ever have an excuse for yourself. It's one of the worst things ever, no matter what it is. You can achieve anything if you put your mind to it. Don't let other things get in your way. Anything, whether it be anything, the life you're living right now, the way you look, the way you think. There's always a way around something. If you want to achieve something, you can always achieve it, as long as you just don't make excuses for yourself. Anyway, today's less a story, I guess. I mean, dyslexia for me was that I just couldn't read and write, and for a long time I'd be stubborn in the sense that I'm just gonna read, I'm just gonna read, I'm just gonna read, I'm just gonna read. And this book has taught me that, hey, you're probably gonna be rubbish at this most, if not your entire life. And that's okay, because there are other things you can do to get around it. And I think I've accepted that, yeah? That doesn't mean that I stop learning how to read, how to write, and get better at it. But it just means that I'm probably going to be better at other things. And that's okay. I can work around these barriers. I think that's it. Yeah. I'll see you guys later. Bye.